Hey, what's going on, guys? So in the community tab of the channel, I asked you guys, I said, what topic would you guys like to see me cover in the future for a future 5 to 8 minute video? What do you guys want to see me cover? And I got a lot of comments saying versus battles or what ifs. And I'm like, wait a second, I asked specifically not for versus battles or what ifs. Like, what's going on here? And then I started reading the comments, and one that immediately stood out to me was the one about the White Fang. And when I saw that, it had like 140 upvotes, and then the wheels just start turning in my head. I'm like, oh, this would be good. And you know, like, don't get me wrong, like, I know Kakashi dies in a lot of my what ifs, but Kakashi is one of my favorite characters. And part of the reason for that is his whole thing with his father. And that's something where I just start thinking, I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to do the very first video on. So this video here will be the jump off for my Wasted Potential series. And the White Fang, hands down, has some of the most wasted potential in the Naruto franchise. Like, let me just remind some of you guys who might be super casual and say, who is the White Fang? Why is Kakashi's father so big? Dude, the White Fang was said to be on the same level as the sannin, if not a little stronger. Like, depending on which translation you read, like, he was either as strong or a little bit stronger than the sannin, and yet we never saw him fight. We never saw any of his feats. Like, the only time we really saw him in the what people call the Kakashi Gaiden flashback, or what I like to say are like chapters, I think 240 or something. They're in volume 28 of the Naruto manga. Again, I got into Naruto via the manga, so the anime, I hadn't even seen all the anime, but I've read the manga like 7 times over. But here's the thing, like in the manga, what really stands out is like you see how much of an impact Kakashi's father had on Kakashi. And like that panel where you see like Kid Kakashi standing over his father's dead body, and you just see how it affected him, and then you see how the anime did it, that sends chills up my spine. Like that's one of the few times where, like, when I see the anime, I go, oh my God, they did a beautiful job here. Like, I don't like the anime, but when I saw that, it just deeply resonated. And maybe it's because, like, I've gone through a period of where I've lost a lot of people in 2018. So, you know, when it comes to Kakashi with losing his father and everything, maybe it rings, you know, harder, hits harder with me now than any other time than it probably would have. But when you look at Kakashi's father, like, it would have been amazing if we'd have actually seen the mission where he chose the lives of his comrades over the Hidden Leaf Village. Like, to actually see the fallout, or where he comes back and he brings back all the lives of these people, and we see the family members of those people thankful that they're still alive, and yet he's getting hated on for choosing the lives of his comrades over the village. That would have been amazing to see. That would have been absolutely amazing, because it shows a contrast. It shows how the Konoha that we knew in the Naruto series from chapter 1 to chapter 700 wasn't the Konoha that it used to be when the third Hokage first took over as Hokage, and he had more of a hawkish stance, which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the Naruto filler arcs in the anime touched on a little bit, and so did some of the data books, but Anime Balls Deep did a really, really good job chronicling the first, second, and third Great Ninja Wars. I highly recommend checking out his mini documentaries on that. I highly recommend, and I will have those links so you guys can check out the one I'm referring to. But here's the other thing, right? If we could have saw that and look at how the Hidden Leaf Village is now under Naruto Uzumaki, that'd have been completely like, wow, that'd have been good. And the other thing is, like, dude, you can't tell us a guy is on the same level as a sannin and we never see how badass this dude is in a fight. That'd have been super crazy to see this dude mix it up with some of the more elite ninja, and the fact that he never got reanimated in the war, that is another knock. That is another knock that Kishimoto dropped the ball on. And like, the other thing is, it's like Chiyo thought that Kakashi was the White Fang. Like, Chiyo was ready to go ham on Kakashi, and it's all because she thought that it was the White Fang. Like, dude, like, to actually see the interaction between Kakashi's father and Chiyo's son would have gave us a whole different level of understanding for why Chiyo was so upset when she saw Kakashi in the hospital. Like, little moments like that, it's little small moments where when you look at it, it's just like, damn. And I mean, the other thing is, it's like, this is the father of one of the main characters of the story, one of the main people who guides Naruto along his path to becoming Hokage. If we could have saw how Kakashi was reacting to the White Fangs, if we could have saw how Kakashi was reacting to the White Fang in real time as all that stuff was happening, and see how it shaped Kakashi as he's on his path to becoming Hokage, that would have been insane to see. That would have been insane to actually see that level of fallout, to see how it shapes him. And then when you get to the point where when pain appears to have taken the life of Kakashi, because I can't say the K word because otherwise the YouTube police will be all after me, but when that happens, and Kakashi meets his father again, that would have added a whole different level to what we actually saw. Like when father and son are speaking to each other, that would have added a whole different level. And I'm gonna be real with you, like when those chapters came out and it appeared as if Kakashi was dead, having given his life for the Hidden Leaf Village, when I tell you that messed me up. Like I remember when that chapter came out, like I was still working overnight for Target at the time, right? I was working at Target to help myself through college and all that. And I remember when that chapter came out, dude, like I had just started college, and dude, I was backstocking in the back. Like, so everything had been pushed on the sales floor. They brought it back to us. And so I was backstocking some clothes and some shoes and all that. And that takes a really long time. So nobody would come down there and bother me. And so I was reading the actual Naruto chapter when it got uploaded, like at 4 or 5 o'clock, and I used to go to Naruto base, which they're just a forum now. They only have the chapters up, but I used to go on Naruto base to read the chapters. And in this particular day, I don't think Naruto base was up yet, but I went to one of the manga sites and I was reading the chapter and I was thinking, oh my God, Kakashi just died. Kakashi's dead, and it just messed me up. And then when Kakashi's meeting with his father and all of a sudden he's being revived, it would have made more of a payoff if Kakashi says, "Father, I understand." And we had all those flashbacks and everything. And then Kakashi gets sent back to the world of the living. And then Kakashi goes on that path to becoming Hokage. That would have done a whole lot more. It would have tied in the Obito situation a whole lot better. It would have added more to the dynamic of Kakashi and Obito. How Kakashi was still in a way fighting to save Obito from himself, fighting to never leave a comrade behind, because when he thought Obito had died, and this is my interpretation of the Kakashi-Obito dynamic, but when Kakashi thought Obito died, it messed him up. It messed him up. And then to see that he left his friend behind. His friend was still alive, had fallen in on the dark side like he did. Kakashi, while fighting Obito, in a way was still fighting to try and reach that friend, to still save him, to get the biggest burden off of Kakashi's conscience. I feel like that's why Kakashi went through so much in order to get Obito, even if it meant having to take the life of Obito at some point. In order to save Obito and save what Obito stood for when he sacrificed himself, Kakashi was willing to go through it all. And I feel like if we would have known more about the White Fang, that would have added more to Kakashi's dynamic. It would have made it feel more earned when Kakashi, someone who used to be a stickler for following the rules and then embodied everything that his father was, actually became the Hokage of the Hidden Leaf Village. That would have done so much more for the character. But let me know what you guys think, and let me know when you personally think that the anime or the manga could have told us the story of the White Fang. And if you're an anime only viewer, how many episodes would you give for an arc on the White Fang? And when would you have incorporated? Or if you're like me and you're in the manga, when would you have done the White Fang flashbacks? Let me know down in the comment section. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an incredible day, guys.